So here we are at the end of Season 1 of The Legend of Vox Machina. And I need to possibly go into spoiler territory towards the end of the video, don't worry. What I'll do, like I tend to do with these things, is give my general thoughts and then a distinct warning so that if you haven't seen the episodes and or the tabletop game, you will be able to watch my thoughts and not be spoiled. Everyone else can continue on and you can come back when you're ready as well. But yeah, in general, I enjoyed this trio. I think it wrapped up both this season and the arc pretty well. This has been the first two arcs, really, this first season of the show. And there's so many moments here that I've loved. Because whilst your imagination, like the people playing, will fill in some of these blanks and you'll imagine certain things, and this community is so good with fan art. Every single moment that we've seen here in this show, there is at least 10 variations of fan art for, probably. But seeing it happen in motion, seeing the characters do these things, is such a treat. And I mean that for the entire series. But there's so many good moments in this last episode that, I mean, I was looking stuff up and I saw fan art, and then I saw the episode, and they've clearly leaned on some of the fan art because they know that that's probably going to be a thing that is in people's mind, but they've still made it work with what their own interpretation of the style is. And once again, hat tip to everyone involved. The production levels are great here. The fact that they've condensed many hours, I was going to work it out, but it's too big. There's a lot of hours, and I've sat there through all of them, of tabletop gaming to get to the point that we've got in 12 episodes of 25 minutes, say, each. It's a much smaller time investment, but it's that thing where you can dip your toes in the water, get the general picture, and nothing important has been cut out, aside from perhaps Tiberius, but there is a good reason, like I said in a previous video. But nothing major is cut out that you can't still enjoy this story and know what the main beats are before watching the tabletop gaming, to watch a few more of the smaller moments. It seems that every time I give a hat tip to voice performers, I forget someone. So once again, like last time, I'm rectifying that with a tip to Esme Creed-Miles, who voices Cassandra DeRollo. She can do the soft, oh, I miss my brother moments, but she also has an edge when she needs them. And it's not someone I've been that familiar with, and I'm quite eager to see more of her work. I think she's really great in this role. But like I've said before, everyone is great in their roles here. I saw an interview with Nerdist where Matt was saying it was a delight to give up a lot of NPCs because he could make sure they were cast correctly. He can do a vast array of voices, and he does still in the show, as well as being Silas Briarwood. But he can do a vast array of voices, but he can't do everyone else apart from the main cast. It just wouldn't be right. So the fact that they said, yeah, open it up and make sure we get people who fit what we were going for, I think has paid off. And a lot of the people, yes, they're probably friends with, but there are also people, like I said earlier on, you know, who are from a wider net. So yeah, final thoughts in the kind of wrap up before the spoiler bit. I enjoyed this series start to finish. It's kept the heart of the tabletop game. It's kept the levity of the tabletop game. It's kept what the tabletop game meant to a lot of us, I think. And like I say, there's a lot of moments that we're seeing realised in a new way. And I think it gives us a different appreciation, a different way of looking at what we'd already had in our minds and in fan art. And I'm eager for Season 2. They did, of course, do the setup of, we've wrapped all that up, here's what's coming next, which a lot of things do even when they don't know what's coming, but we know if we've watched the tabletop game. And if you've enjoyed Season 1 as a non-Critical Role fan before, you're going to enjoy Season 2. Oh yes. But now I think we need to get into spoiler territory, because there's a lot I want to talk about, and there's been a few takes that I've had to cut out because I've started spoiling things. I've been very good But here we go. Here are the spoiler bits. The Orthax fight was amazing. I don't like to say this, but I'd say it surpassed the tabletop because the visuals of it were so great. The fact that we got to be inside Percy's mind a lot better. We could see everything that was going on. We saw a version of Orthax, everything like that. It was great. And of course, following on from that, the destruction of the list. Brilliant as well. The whole turn of Cassandra, which again, we all knew was coming if we had seen the tabletop gaming. So well played, and that's what I was kind of meaning with Esme Creed Miles. The fact that she spun that. The whole thing with the acid coming in. We all remember moments in the tabletop game where time was at a premium and they had to think fast. And I don't think there's been much of that in the series before now. But this was one of those moments where it really felt that tension in the tabletop game. You've got to make a decision. You've got to make sure you get out this room. And like any tabletop gaming, not just this, but I'm sure we've had moments, those of us who have played things. And yeah, the whole thing with Pike cutting out, of course, makes a lot of sense when you know what really happened. But yeah, everything wrapped up so well in the Briarwood arc. And I can't wait till they come back. And of course, at the end of the episode, we have the Chroma Conclave starting. We've got that moment where dragons are on the horizon, and of course this was all linked back to Krieg and all that stuff in his dragon form, whose name I've completely forgotten. Someone will tell me, I'm sure, in the comments. But this whole thing now starting, this is why I'm eager to see season 2. I think, all the characters have been serviced well. Grog picking up Craven Edge, I love that moment, because I'd forgotten about it. I was like, oh, wait. Grog's picked up Craven Edge. Oh, this is going to get good. There's going to be a lot of great moments coming forward. There's a lot of moments that I'd forgotten about in this arc. I was like, wait, the Browoods don't die, but no, they do, and they come back. I've noticed they've not been using the actual names of things. Like, Vecna is always just the Whispered One, which is one of his sobriquets, but it's not his name. And Scanlan's thing is Scanlan's Hand instead. And they say the Everlight, not Saren Ray, and it's got the Dawnfather in there as well, things like that. There's a lot of names that they're not using, and I'm wondering if they can't. That could be a bit tricky moving forward with certain things, but hopefully it won't sully things too much. I mean, we're still getting a threat called the Whispered One. Everything is still there in its right form, it's just the actual D&D names might not necessarily be. That's my only potential concern. There might be things that could be ruined by that, but it's a minor concern. They'll get round it. They're very creative people. But I've really enjoyed this, the wrapping up of the first 2 arcs and the setting up of Arc 3, the Chroma Conclave. I'm so excited for Season 2, and I'll probably do the same thing because I've enjoyed it. My voice is a bit crackly because I do this as soon as I wake up, so I've got time. So I apologise. My voice quality's got worse throughout. I haven't had the time to really warm it up and have a brew, so I'm going to wrap up now before it gets any worse. But thank you for indulging me these last few weeks, and I've got at least 3 in the chamber that I can do over the next few weeks and get them ready to go, so don't worry about me, I'll be fine. But thank you very much for joining me on all this, and as always, until next time, take care. And watch out for dragons.